And first mulligan because of the sunken runes. Strike one. That would be a pretty easy keep if I had a fetch land. Alright. I could just bottom an Architect of Will. Kind of bad if I draw a Grief. I'm on the play, so I don't think I'm going to need Brazen Bar, honestly. Unless they're like playing Chalice of the Void main deck or Ensnaring Bridge, card like that really wrecks me. Varus, just... Man, I'm kind of jealous. Sounds like you've been watching a lot of qualifiers. I might start watching more qualifiers when it's Europe and stuff. CIS and SAs. Scalding Tarn. So if I main weak here, I can find a Grief. Or I could just wait a turn, like, is it that big of a deal, really? This way I have more info on what I need. Do you ever consider becoming a Dota 2 analyst, Varus? Maybe a coach? Kind of a bit of what you do already, right? Was football. There's some of that. Wait, was that better than... Oh, they just conceded? I was thinking about downloading Dota again and just casting. Just doing some really... Just maybe try and learn a bit how to... learn the camera work. And just do some casting for TI qualifiers and maybe even TI. Yeah, World Waker too strong apparently. Scalding Tarn Arid Mesa. What do you think we're up against? I feel like Force of Negation is probably a pretty safe bet. I guess I could also look them up on their tournament finishes on the... They're trying to hide. Is it Blitz? Alright, story checks out. So there probably is it Blitz. They're going to have some relics in the sideboard. So again, is it Blitz? You want the 2 Chewers. You want all the Force. And then what do you want to board out? I don't think Subtlety is very good.
Concha.
Running Thelopos, one of my favorite screen names. Thank you so much for the 32 months. Alright. So I'm unsure for their artifacts. I don't know about Brazen Bar, honestly. I'll just board out Brazen Bar. I know Reed was boarding out Street Wraith in some of the aggro matchups, but I think I like keeping them in. Is Reed good against Blitz? Yeah, very good. They have... You can, they're usually going to play their 1-drop creature on turn 1. Which means you can grieve their artifact hate or their counterspell. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not like busted, but... Alright, so this hand has 2 lands too many, but it does have 2 Cyclers and a Chewer for their hate cards. So that part is nice. I think I'll keep. 20 push-ups. 20 push-ups have just been redeemed. All right, let's see. I want to... I think I'm just going to play Sanctum and say go here. I could cycle Hope to hit exactly Grave. But then if they have Solgat Lantern, it's worse because they get a free... a creature for free. No, I'm gonna honor the push-ups. If I don't forget. Armorite trying to keep me in shape, looking out for me, appreciate it. Enough for a 60 push-up? Yeah, that's not gonna work out very well for you. Alright, I guess I'm just gonna hope they don't have much. Because I can't really beat much anyways. I think if they had the lantern, they would have played it there. Maybe not, actually. They don't have to. That was a really good draw. Well, she wasn't that good of a draw. Late comment, but I'd love to see some Yellowhat casting Hangout Dota streams. I might make it happen. Plus it's low effort. It is pretty low effort. I mean, I'm going to watch some games anyway, so... Alright, I do have the lantern. I have to force here, I think. Do I have to force? I got greedy cycling that Street Wraith. Yeah, I think I have to force, even if it's my only... Because they probably have a counter spell anyways, so... Yeah, I don't know. Kind of playing into... So how was I supposed to sequence this game? I guess I got greedy when I started cycling on my turn. They didn't have... I mean, Soul Scar Mages... Yeah, I guess I was supposed to just not do anything on my turn. Because they're gonna sandbag Lantern till turn 3 to I mean, they don't have to play it earlier. Alright. Yeah. The whale is nice against the lanterns in the crypt. Helps you rebuild the graveyard pretty fast. When's the raid stream? After this league. Unless this league takes a really long time, then maybe but yeah. This matchup's usually pretty good because game 1, if they're playing the, kind of the old stock list with no counters, anything, they almost have no interaction. And then you have to win one of the 2 sideboard games. Alright, looks like I'm dead, right? 10. Flash it back. Alright. I forgot to do the push-ups after this match. Alright, really good hand. This is kind of one of the reasons to play Living End. If the meta shift towards, blue red prowess. Unless I've ran good in the first 3 or 4 matches, but I haven't lost to that deck yet. I'm like, I think 3 or 4-0 against it. 3-0 maybe. No 1-drop. I did mulligan once.
Back in the pigeon coop now that Etienne stopped D.
Back in the pigeon coop? Oh, that's true. What happened to Etienne? Did he just get a job, or was the streaming just kind of temporary? Let's see. Not in a rush to do anything. I don't mind finding a grief, I guess. I'm gonna say go. This way, if they have Lantern plus Spell Pierce, I can force the Lantern and still have mana to pay for the Spell Pierce. Oh, it's a relic. Even worse. They shouldn't have Dispute. I'm not even sure they play Dispute, but Dispute doesn't really counter anything. It doesn't counter Living In. It really only counters my Force. So it'd be kind of narrow for them to bring in Dispute, I think. Alright, Grief. Grief for the win. Living End. So they could have another relic in hand, technically. I think if that Soul God Lantern, they would have... Well, I guess if that Soul God Lantern, they would probably hold it too. Let's see. Let's cycle. It's kind of tricky. On a... Thing is, if I play Charlotte and have Spell Pierce, then I only have one Living In left in my deck, so that part is scary. And if I wait, I can maybe set up Outburst plus something, or I can just pay for the Spell Pierce in 2 turns. Alright, I'm just gonna say go. And respect the fact that they kept a hand with no 1-drop. So I'm assuming they at least have decent bit of hate. Don Valsey, you bought the deck and you want to play it in paper? Yeah, it's a pretty cool deck. I'll say that. Alright, so pretty good spot. They have no pressure, so... Uh-oh. Why are they fetching now? It's kind of scary. Trying to scare me, chat. Alright, let's see what's going on. I can just wait till I have 5 mana. Oh, they had Blood Moon? Oh, it's so dead. Oh, all they had to do was play Blood Moon. Alright, this is terrifying. So, I could take the Blood Moon and play it super kind of safe, quote unquote. But then they could find another Blood Moon. Or the other obvious one is I take the Spell Pierce and if they don't have another Spell Pierce in their top card, I mean, I just have to take the Spell Pierce and go for it this turn. Could play a basic Forest if Blood Moon becomes popular. Bottom, bottom, bottom. Alright, they bottomed. Need to dodge 2 draw steps. Hold, please. The redraw. Alright. Blood Moon is super scary. There's a lot of things that are super scary for the Living In deck. But you can still beat almost anything. I think this is a keep. I say that every time, but if you're not playing Grief, any hand with Living in it, you should almost 100% mulligan. But with Grief in the deck, I've been keeping the good Living In hands. So they named... Oh, that's cool. That's a matchup I wanted to play. What did they name? Land. And they got Tolaria West. Because I played this matchup and I thought it would be favorable, but I lost last time. Also got a little unlucky. I don't think they usually play Bojuka Bog main deck, so I think you can just go nuts on the cyclers. Alright, doesn't look like they have the best draw ever. Forest. Usually not what you're looking for. That's more like it. Don't have amulet yet either, which is nice. All right, we need a grief. Maybe a force would be reasonable too. Might as well fetch, I think. Oh, I don't even have I don't even have an enabler yet. Yikes. That is... I mean, I guess if they don't tighten me this turn... kind of a yikes. Oh, Saga. Alright, I guess I just say go now, right? I only played this mashup once, so... Cycling just so gamblish. If I break on grief, I basically lose, I think. I'm gonna be playing some... I think I'll probably play another league with Miracles tonight, and then tomorrow I think I'm gonna play the challenge at 5, and then if I bomb out, I think there's Inside Esports Modern 2 hours after the challenge. So maybe I'll hop into that, and then Sunday Modern Challenge as well, so tons more Modern this weekend. Does Amulet play main deck Cage or Relic? I don't think so. I think they're pretty streamlined. I mean, they could get a Pact, but I don't think they play Pact in the main deck. I'm just gonna let them have it, I guess. Okay, they got Summoner's Pact. Do I have Lethal? They got 17, and I do have Lethal. Oh, they can make a chum blocker. I can give flying to my 5/5, and I'll have 8, 13, 6. Can put them down to 1 only. Trying to think. I just should cycle instead then. Huh. We cycle so they make a 1/1, they get to block a Street Wraith, and they take 8, 13, 16 down to 1. Like someone mentioned, if they have like a main deck Relic or something, I might get screwed. I think I'm just gonna do it now. They don't have Amulet anyway, so even if they play a Titan, I think I should be okay. Could also just top deck an Outburst, top deck a Brazen Bower. Yeah. Grief probably wins me the game. Oh, and I get all these cries, I forgot. Oh yeah. Oh, that's very nice. Sorry, I get a good shot at finding a grief. Really good shot at finding a grief. What's better, Waker or... I guess I can do both. No. No. Alright, there's gotta be grief somewhere. Oh, they get Amulet with Saga, actually. That's gonna die to 1 Titan hit. Well, that's good against Pact. So, how much damage do they deal? They get Amulet. They get thingy. I mean, they're making a chum blocker anyways, right? Should I just attack like that? And we have Stronghold, Sunhome. Yeah, but Stronghold, 1 is 4 mana, right? So they would need to, they lose their Saga, they float 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Should I just keep all of it back? Is that reasonable? Because yeah, we have 16, 8 toughness is not enough. I forget. One's 4 mana to activate, right? Yeah, they can't Sunhelp on it unless they have another amulet. Right? Alright. I'll just do that, I guess. So they need like 2 amulets. I mean, I'm guessing it's not that hard for them to have me dead. Like, does Dryad do it maybe? Dryad plus bounce land probably kills me. Second amulet. Although I also have force for their pact, so they have pact, they need a second pact or titan, and then they need a combination of amulet or Dryad bounce land maybe? Something like that. Urborg and helping out your opponent and fixing their mana. Name a more iconic duo. Well, here's a Dryad. And here's the bounce land. So now they need one of their last 2 cards to be a second green pact or a titan. And I think I'll lose. They just have the... Maybe Dryad bounce land was not enough. We'll see. I guess they just get 2 Velikis, right? But 2 Velikis doesn't kill me either. Oh yeah, it does kill me. Well, they needed to have kind of perfects, right? They literally needed... Yeah. Yeah, that was they needed Dryad bounce land and Titan. That was kind of, and my draw wasn't even that good. Like I didn't have turn free. I didn't find a grief. Pretty unlucky. All right, I think you just want. I don't think you want force, but I think you want like the other interaction. That'd be my guess. And maybe you want Avon over Riverwinder because of just them blocking. What else can I board out? Why didn't I force Amulet? They put it into play with Urza Saga. There's nothing I could have forced. This is maybe a bit heavy. I probably don't need Chewer, actually. Chewer's probably a bit narrow. Breaker kills Dryad and Saga and Amulet. Alright, so something like that, maybe? What do we think? Also, I think Fairy's not the worst in this matchup. Alright, pretty solid hand. Let's see. So they have one Bajuka Bog after sideboard, which is something you need to factor in, I guess. but not super easy to play around either. I'll cycle on my turn, because if I have grief, I think taking the amulet if you have grief is nice, probably. The turn 1 amulet. Maybe I should just ignore Bazooka Bug. I have ways to get rid of turn 1 amulet though. Foundation breakers and whatnot. Alright. That's what happened to me last time. It's like twice I play this matchup and twice I feel I get pretty unlucky. Not even a grief. Not even, I mean, at least I have one free spell. I'm probably in trouble even with subtlety. Even if I hit every land drop, probably in trouble. They kept 7 card. They have turn 1 amulet. It's not good for me. I need just subtlety to Dryad here. Okay, it's an Explorer. Titan is super strong. What does Titan lose to? I wonder how it does against the other tier 1 decks. I wouldn't be opposed to playing all Titan. How badly do I get tracked by Bazooka Bog? Would they have played it last turn if they had it? They didn't have to. Does they go, I guess? These I didn't draw too many living ends. When's raid? After this league. Or maybe after round 3 or 4, depends how much time the league takes, but the living index is usually pretty fast. Alright, I think subtletying that's just, it's gotta be almost 100% worth it. Also, it's just nuts. If I draw land, I get to outburst subtlety next turn. I was thinking about playing more subtleties in my sideboard, but I feel like it would be almost exclusively for this matchup. So it feels a bit narrow. Alright, no Bazooka Bug. Force of Vigor. Alright, very nice. Also, when I lost to the Karn version, which is scarier, because they had that thread that you just get crit or whatever. So it's something else you need to worry about. Hey Auntie, hey Super Walk. Any Raid Shadow Legends players in chat? It was cool last time I did it. There was someone who was like super high level on the raid who just walked me through everything. Hopefully that person or someone who knows the game. Alright, missed second land drop. Subtlety into Outburst. Very nice. Babs, you're level 94? Alright. Why not wait for Titan to living in it? Isn't it better to just subtlety it so they don't even get the trigger? And I kill them. Alright. Is Brazen Bar good? Is Brazen Bar on a Titan really gonna save me from anything? Babette says it's not something to be proud of. Wish I never played the game. Well, probably true for almost every game you play way too much of. But yeah, if you start playing Raid, please spend reasonably. Has a pretty aggressive economy. It is a fun game, but I don't want to get anyone into dev just because they started playing Raid Shadow Legends. Ingature for sure. You don't think Ingature is too much? I already have Force and Foundation Breaker. And Shure only hits Amulet, and now with Urza's Saga, sometimes they just get the Amulet at the very end. And the Breakers you can pitch to the Force. You're free to play? Yeah. Way to go. It was Hoogland's fault, same sponsorship as your... Why 0 Force? Well, what would you cut? I think Grief is probably better, right? You snag an Explore, you snag an Amulet maybe. You snag a Pact, and then when it comes back... I'd rather play Force than Waker. Well, it's easy to say I'd rather play X card than a Cycler, and then you get stuck on lands and don't have Cyclers. So that's kind of the tricky part. I think this is good. I guess it's still Brazen Bar. Yeah, Brazen Bar is probably not going to save me from anything. I'll do 1 Force and 1 Chore. I've reached the age where I buy games and then don't play them. Yeah, I've done that a bit. I actually done that with StarCraft 2 like 6 or 7 years ago when it came out. Alright, so... These cards are not totally dead because I have Force of Vigor, Force of Negation, and Subtlety in my deck. It is kind of a 5-card hand. I would say it's a 6. It's like an okay 6-card hand. So I should probably keep. But it's not a great 6-card hand. So I should maybe mulligan. Kind of depends how many free spells I draw. I mean, if I draw a Subtlety, and if I draw either a Subtlety or a Force of Vigor, then it turns into a very good 6-card hand because I basically only have 1 dead card. Man, this is really close. Let's see. What if I didn't have Outburst? Because there's also the danger you go down to 5 and then you're in trouble, right? So you need to fact like 10-20% of the time I'm gonna have to go down to 5. I think I'm gonna keep. I think mulliganing is fine too. Miss Likarn was a daily quest. I feel like people don't really where have all the daily quests gone, chat? Kind of been slacking lately. Any minus 200s? I guess I'll get blue-green. And I'll cycle right away. Oh, but no, that was bad because I don't even want to grief right away. I need to make sure I draw lands. More important than griefing them, probably. Also, if I draw living end. All right, so cycling on my turn was bad. If I was not gonna grief, then why even do it? All right, I should definitely counter that though, because I might not get another good target for it. It slows them down a lot. They mulliganed. Huh. Ooh. I cycled in case I drew living in or another grief, so I could grief them. Alright, we need to dodge the 1 Bajuka Bug. Something really hard to do in a game of Magic when they have a one-of card that kind of wrecks you. How much should you play around it? or in some cases, how much should you board against it? Kind of reminds me of so if I fetch now, I save 2 life potentially, but I fin my deck. I think I'll save the life. I can just Foundation Breaker them maybe. We'll see what I draw. Oh, I drew Force of Vigor. So they have... So I should just say go? Or should I wake her now in case they have... In case they have... I mean, I'm gonna keep a land anyways, right? I'm just gonna say go. Well, I guess I do have Violent Outburst to pitch to Force of Vigor. Maybe I should Foundation Breaker now? What do I have in my yard for... I gotta want to cycle the Wake-Up Wave though, so I can just Outburst next turn. Like 5 mana, I don't think 5 mana does a ton for them. What's the difference? Yeah. I don't know, I think this is better. Harried. When are you changing your name to Raider Rabbit? Professional raid player. Did you ever play some more with that deck, Reed? I saw you breeze through a league with the blue version of the deck, the straight teamer version of the deck. Ooh, they got Bajuka Bog. Did they already play 2 lands? They did. Alright, well, we need a land chat. In my hand. They could have Pact of Negation, so I don't think I want to pitch to Outburst. So next turn they're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So I kind of need to Force of Vigor now, I think. And I think I want to use Foundation Breaker probably. They could have only creatures in hand. They're gonna have just Titan. Alright. I can't resist. That worked out. These decks are usually pretty fun. Alright, what do I have here? I want to play, have 3 Cyclers, the Dead Living End that I can maybe pitch to Grief, the Enabler. I think this is fine. Hey DZZT. Glad you found the stream. Cycle first, so I don't fin the deck and I see what land I draw. I might even draw a fast land. I did not. I think in the dark you just want to cycle on your turn and you're usually going to be pretty happy to Grief on turn 1 against most people. Alright, against Team Vent tapped. Probably want to play my land first. Get the island out of here. Cycle. Grief. Force on negation. Redraw. Just play a 2-drop. Stoneforge Mystic. I think my opponent should play a Stoneforge Mystic. No? No fun. I'm in a pretty good spot as long as I don't draw... Wow. I was going to say as long as I don't draw a living end. Unholy Heat, Iteration, Counterspell. I guess I'll do it on my turn, so I get the Charlos. Easy game. Bring to Light, Valky, Lurrus, Shell is really good. Maybe I'll go check out Spike. He plays these decks a lot. Alright, so what are we up against? They're playing Counterspell, so they're not playing Prowess, so they're playing like probably Ragavan, Dragon Rage Chandler. That version of the deck. That's a tough matchup. This Ragavan turn 1 was... You okay? Yeah. You're going to have Ragavan backed up by Counterspells. They're also probably going to have... They're not playing Blitz. They're playing like something like that probably. So they're probably going to have some like Artifact Hate. So I need the Chewers. This Brazen Bar is kind of okay. Trades with Chandler maybe. Could just be Delver, yeah. Subtlety is not great, but 10 free spells might be a lot. Even though you can kind of pitch them to each other. They didn't reveal Lurrus, nope. The Regen version usually plays Delver, Chandler, Ragavan, and... I mean, either way, it doesn't really matter like what their top end is. The problem is they have a lot of counters and they have snowballing threats, whether it's Ragavan or Chandler, and there's just not that much you can do about it, to be honest. Just not that much you can do about it. I was gonna do that, keep the bars. I'm gonna board that Riverwinder because maybe you need the flyers to block their flyers in some spots. Alright. Kind of as good as it gets. I mean, I think I have to pay the price here. Maybe not. Maybe I just power through was double grief. But that subtlety's kind of dead. But I need the cycling cards. I mean, if I'm not gonna subtlety that... I mean, I guess subtlety could be good if I didn't have grief. If I just had subtlety and then all cyclers, then I wouldn't feel as bad. I guess subtlety was architect, and then grief was the other grief. And then cycled curator. I'm not double griefing. Well, I might if... Yeah, I'm just gonna do that, I guess. Alright, almost show me something too nasty. Force. Alright, their hand's pretty bad. Did they put Ragavan on top? And they put Ragavan on top, so that's pretty good for me. Alright, this is as good as I could have hoped for. I drew a land cycler, they put Ragavan on top, and their hand is basically all bricks. I guess I should say go. I need to keep, in case they draw, if they ever draw a lantern or a crypt, I probably have to force it. Hardcast Ragavan, Delver. So they have one mystery card. So we have to hope it's not a Spell Pierce. And I draw a land. I'm just gonna cycle now. Now I have the force back up to outburst on their turn. So that's nice. I just need to find a land. Alright. So I wonder if they can hit anything off Ragavan. They could hit Grief. That'd be kind of sick. I think Grief is what they're looking for. Someone did it to me the other day. Outburst. Well, I mean, they could cast Outburst, I guess. Chandler? Alright. So I think we just win now, most likely. How good is my graveyard? It's pretty good. Good enough, probably. You think they drew Pierce because they didn't play Delver of Treasure? I think even if you don't draw Pierce, you don't play the Delver of Treasure because you're trying to get more mana and you're trying to get mana for Grief maybe. So I don't think that's necessarily a tell in this specific spot. It is possible. Alright, I think I should do it in the upkeep so they don't have double counterspell. I guess I could let them do that. So maybe you let them draw now, because you know they probably don't have double counterspell. How much damage is it? 3, 7, 10, 14, 17. But they get to play a Regent. But if they play Regent, I can just bounce it. I don't know, I guess I'll do it now. Also, I guess I let them maybe cast... No, I guess we know they don't have too many spells. Well, it would be sick if they had a counter and they mill a creature of Delver. They have this spell. Oh, they're just doing it for the... Oh, okay, they don't have a creature. Alright, my creatures will not be getting +1/+0. Sad. Yeah, this spell's not the greatest against me, but it's also, you know, bringing in 1 dispel because you know I'm gonna have 4 forces of negation. I think that's fine. Alright, some pretty ideal draws. Tough matchup, the one we just showed. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's variance. And my Sampo's side was this deck is still like somewhat low. Dead card, but I do have a cycler. I think this is a key because you have the nice double fast land draw. You have one of your better cyclers. And I have a force, so I get to use the second Charless. Like, it's not like you need to bring back, like, 4 creatures on turn 3 or something. Like, if you bring out, like, if I draw 1 cycling card and 1 land, probably be pretty happy. I'm gonna cycle right away because of Grief. Alright, land secured. Maker of the Waves would be nice here. Temple Garden. Okay. That's not great. Land 6. I don't care a ton about Land 6, but it's still at least 2 lands for them. I think I'm just gonna do that. And I'm just gonna play Charlotte's Agent right away. I do have 8 really good draw steps, Grief and Street Wraith. Grief would be ideal. Lands. I have to, because then they might just have it to ferry, and then I'm in trouble. I'll punish for keeping the living in hand, but I think my keep was fine. I was gonna draw all these lands, would have been nice to draw the 1F Sunken Runes. So far, the Sunken Runes made me mulligan one time. Very first game of the league, I think I had 1 Sunken Runes, was a good hand I would have kept otherwise. It's gonna happen that you have to mulligan because your only land is Sunken Runes, but when the Sunken Runes is good, it can really be game-winning good. It lets you suspend living in grindy games or hardcast Grave against control. That's not good for me. I don't think my 5/5's gonna get there. Alright, I should probably fetch in the deck. What are they playing? Does Valakut? Valakut Bring to Light, old school. Put this in my hand. Cycle, Final Grief, Brazy B. I don't think Bouncing Dryad makes a ton of sense. This game's looking pretty long. On Nassif. I think I just have to bounce it. So Brazen Bar would have been, what could it have been? It could have been Fire Ice, would have been great. Could have been another Force, another Subtlety, would have been pretty bad. Cycling card would have been pretty bad. So it was like reasonable. Alright, I need to draw exactly Subtlety, I think. Yeah. So you're saying... Card disadvantage, but tempo advantage. Our problem is I'm out of Brazen Bars. Alright, chat, focus. Focus on Subtlety. That is not a Subtlety. Are they ever gonna... I mean, they could be scared of Outburst, right? I'll attack now. I don't think this... I'm kind of repping Outburst. I think they might block Riverwinder. No, they're not worried about Outburst. Okay. Maybe they need the Dryad to get out of it. Subtlety. Am I saying it wrong? Well, that's GG. Oof, tough matchup. Oh yeah, I just got a little unlucky. Yeah, living at wouldn't be the worst here. They're down to 2 cards, I guess. If I draw an enabler. Alright, I guess we're about to find out. But to find out if it's good enough. Last living end, this is it. They might have a second Omnath, because we know they don't have Bring to Light or anything like that, I think. But second Omnath would make a ton of sense. Also, if they draw Scape Shift, I'm most likely dead. But that's probably a one of. Sacrifice and they get a 1/1 flying. So I guess I should sack Prison Bar probably. Wait, why would you not explore first? What the hell? Do they have another Chaos guy? Oh no, wait. Path to Exile. Well, the question kind of stands, right? Blah, 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 blah. So close yet so far. Wait. I guess they're just not playing... No, they are playing... Alright, I'm confused. Couldn't it just kill me? I need, I don't even know what I need. Just my flyers, yeah. They're at 6. Should I trade here? Is it getting better for me? Why would I not trade? Let me take a quick look. Any reasons not to trade? Could draw Waker of Waves. As that's a reason not to trade. I mean, if they have 2 Valakuts in their deck, I'm dead 100% to Scape Shift. So I'm just really confused. I have another Omnath. Attack was Omnath. Play Omnath. No. That looks like Escape Shift. Alright. I need a 1 minute break. I'll be right back. Alright. Do I still have the Zeg built? BLT, Valakut, Ren. So their main deck's something like that. And then I used to have, what, in the sideboards for graveyard decks. So they might have some Veils. Cleansing Wildfire, I'm not sure people play that anymore. I guess for Urza Saga, but Tron is pretty much gone. They might have a Verdict. I have to keep that in mind. Teferi, Verdict, Veil, maybe some Negates, maybe some Graveyard Hate. Tough. I think Force is probably good. I think maybe Foundation Breakers, a little hedge against Dryads. what killed Tron. I'm not sure. Maybe people are trying stuff. Maybe it lines up poorly against... I mean, the power level just went up. And Eldrazi Tron was already kind of a 50-50 deck. Thought something one of Urborg to be able to hardcast Grief and Living In. I play Sunken Runes. I think Sunken Runes better. Urborg tends to fix your opponent's mana a lot. And it doesn't cycle for blue. You could though, it's probably close between Urborg and Sunken Runes. Sunken Runes was better when you had more 1-mana cyclers, because on turn 2 you want to have double blue a lot. But with Waker of Waves, you want to have double blue less soft. Alright, so... Brazen Bar was kind of okay, but I don't think it's especially good. Oh, they have Kazgal too, right? That's their graveyard hate. I could just do that. Just straightforward. Bar is not very good against a token of Kazgal. Alright. Keep it simple. Is Ragavan too greedy in Blue Moon? I think Ragavan would fit nicely into Blue Moon. Just Blue Moon was 4 Ragavans. But then when you start playing creatures, you might bet... I mean, the problem is... The problem was wanting to play Blue Moon control style is that Ragavan and Chandler are just so pushed. And they work well with your counter spells because you get to Surveil is the one, and Ragavan gives you more mana. Lets you maybe cast a Charm on 2, and you're already playing Bolt and some removal to clear it away. The threats are just so powerful that you're kind of at natural disadvantage with any kind of control build. Alright, the mulligan 6. Let's cycle turn 1. See if I can hit a Grief. I do. Is that a Grief 1 matchup? I think it is because of Veil of Summer. They don't even have a fetch land. I think I should just take the Kazgal because if I break on land, then I just lose. The greedy plays just to take Renin 6, and I get the Kazgal when I cast Living In on turn 3. But the fact that they didn't have a fetch land, I think, kind of a small factor, I guess. Alright, don't do me dirty, deck. Very nice. Could even force Renin 6. I don't think that makes too much sense, though. Alright, looks like we got a little freebie here. See their hand first, so we know what they have. Nothing. Check the top 3. Hickory Bros. Is it Shackle's control time? No, I mean Shackle's just unplayable, right? Can I ask you why Fairy Macabre over Leyline? Because it's nice synergy with your own living ends, and you're playing a deck that draws a lot of cards. So you're more likely to draw dead ley lines. And also in the ley lines matchup, you usually want to board out Grief. Or Grief is not like super great against a deck like Food or Dredge. So you don't even have the upside of, you know, Like imagine if the ley line of the voids matchup were matchups where you also want to keep in grief, then it wouldn't be as bad because you draw dead ley lines and you just pitch them to grief sometimes. So that's kind of nice, but not the case here. All right, I think I should just lead with grief probably. No, actually I should cycle in case I draw exactly living end. Probably. They kept 6. Kayasgal, negate, Dryad. Alright, I'm just gonna take the Kayasgal. Negate I can beat because I have Outburst, so if I draw a blue card I can just do that, and also negate they have to keep mana up. Let's see. Alright, so this is a little scary because if they draw Teferi, I probably just lose. If they drew Teferi in their top 2. So that was a reason not to cycle Aven right away, but I had 2 draw steps, 3 draw, 2, I guess it's only 2 draw steps to a blue card. Alright, cool. So they didn't play their Dryad, they're keeping the gate mana. Alright, I mean, I just say go. Let's wait till I draw a blue card or a black card. Problem is my graveyard sucks. Again, I mean, you can just easily I just need to draw some cycling cards, I guess. Why are we on wind color? Curve purposes, 4-Waker of Waves was a little clunky. I mean, it is tempting. It's not much of a clock, but you know, 2 cards. The grief has menace. Alright, this is a tough spot actually.
12-month. Oh, wait.
Hey, Sergey Lunef. All dyslexia. Thanks for the resub, bud. Hope you keep enjoying the stream. I don't think I'm in a super rush. Actually, I kind of am. Because once they get to 5 mana, things get rough. They have to go Dryad plus negate back up. I guess that's not that bad for me yet. A wind color and a grief. It's a decent clock. So what's gonna happen? You're gonna play a land, they're gonna say go. I get a draw step. And if it's not a blue or black card, man, it's really tough. I think I can wait. I think both are pretty good on. They don't have that many removal spells. The problem is if I do it now and they just play a Nomnath, I'll lose, right? But I get to see their hand. Let's say they have one annoying card. Okay, let's say they have a Nomnath. I take the Nomnath, then they go Dryad with negate back up. I smash for 7. They're down to 9. And I can start casting my cards too. I think I should go now, but I think it's kind of close. Because I think I do have like a draw step or 2. Do they have mana for Verdict? They do. I think if I go for it now, I'm in a decent spot, and if I wait, I'm also in a reasonable spot. It'd be so cool if you could just play these spots like 20 times. You know, start the game at this exact spot and play it like 10 times this way, 10 times the other way. Kind of see what happens. Alright, so they have negate plus a mystery card. Their mystery card is exactly Grief or exactly Omnath. It's kind of bad for me. But saying go here with Force of Negation up is also nice. I guess I could cycle first too. Because I don't really care about their negate. As their negate backs up a spell, counters my Force of Negation. So I'm at least getting a card out of their hand. And then they basically have one draw step to draw something good. Or I can just keep cycling. It's not bad to rebuild a graveyard. I'm just gonna cycle. Grief now? No. I think cycling is better. Could have maybe kept that to give it flying next turn. Also just have Violent Outburst plus Force. Yeah, cycling now was a mistake. Because now even if they have something good, I still have Outburst plus Force to just... Alright. Alright, nice. Undefeated. Alright. Pretty great hand. Let's see if that Sunken Rune's not being a fetch land ends up hurting me again. Uh-oh. The Rhino deck? That's usually Rhino. It's kind of scary. They have... Never mind. I have Subtlety for turn for Teferi. So that's... I've tried Gemstone for like a league or two. It was bad always, but I could see being decent. Grave's doing work, yeah. It usually does. I think the 4 Force of Negation 4 Brazen Bar version is also like decent. Oh, we're playing the mirror match, never mind. Why not cycle this one first? Yeah, I don't know. Just wasn't paying attention really. Alright. Might as well fetch. Actually, that's a lot of damage for no reason. Black cards? No. So the way the mirror plays out is it's really good to just have a lot of cycling cards in your opening hand. Because you just fill up your graveyard and then your opponent can't cast Living End anymore. And then Brazen Bar is also really good in the mirror match. So that could be my edge, the couple Brazen Bars I have. Maybe even just Subtlety. It's also a lot about just hard cast. I mean, I can start casting the Graves next turn. Like, they can't really Living End them. So if they're Living End, they bring back stuff. It's not that great. Yeah, I'm supposed to Grief, though. It's actually good in the mirror match. They might have the edge in the mirror match because of the Archfiend. Card is nice. Like, can I tap... So they're going to cycle a bunch. Let's say they cycle, they say go again. And then I tap out for Grief, and they just bring back a way better board than mine. So I think I just have to Grief now, but it's not even that good. I think I'm just already pretty screwed this game. They have Double Outburst. I mean, do I just take Horror of the Broken Land because it's a cycling card? Because taking the Outburst doesn't do much for me. It might. I was thinking Yeah, I'll just take the outburst. Won't do anything too. I wonder if they're just going to suspend living in next turn. They're just not cycling. I think they should cycle. Just build up a bit more of a graveyard. I mean, you're going to redraw into more creatures. Your deck is all creatures anyways. Alright, yeah. I'm not too sure how I win, honestly. The Archfiend's pretty brutal. I think this cycler, I held them, but it's also just a redraw for them, so... Yeah, it's... I think taking the outburst is fine. Maybe just taking the living end is decent too. When they tapped me, you should have living in. They went down to 2 mana. You realize living in also brings back their creatures, right? And they just have like this creature, which makes it really hard for me to do anything this match. Bounce? I don't think you know what subtlety does. Subtlety doesn't just bounce a creature. It has to be on the... Alright, I think this is good for me. I think them starting the hostilities is good. I kind of want them to cycle in some way. I have no idea what... Yeah, we need to like block and stuff and then living in, but I don't know if they're gonna just let me do that. It is nice that my street wraith actually have swamp walk if we get into boards. I'm just so confused, honestly. I guess I'll just take a horror. Oh, it's when you discard a card too. Oh, you know what's kind of good though? They have to do it. So they can't kind of manipulate it. So maybe that card just backfires in the mirror match in some ways. Yeah, this is like Creator of Mystery, right? It's the same kind of same cycle, same deal. There's some mirror matches who are a bit boring, and there's some who are kind of cool, and this looks like one that's kind of cool. They probably have Fulminator Rage in their deck. This card's probably decent in a mirror match too. Yeah, I mean, please do shrink my creatures and kill them. My problem in this game is that I just didn't draw that many cyclers. So even though I can like block and do cool stuff, it doesn't even end up mattering that much. Should I play it now or save it? I think I should just hard cast it, right, to have a chum blocker. Yeah, I'm just getting a little unlucky. Just not drawing enough cycling cards. Hard to keep up. Like they already have 4 creatures in the yard, so they pretty much have a bigger graveyard than me already. And they have 4 cards, so they could have more cycling. I think I need to take a draw step. Just hope I start drawing cycling. Their own grief. Wasn't sure if the attack is good, but if I don't attack with this guy, then the only attack was the flyer. Alright, so I get back grief, creator. I do get back 7 points of flyers. And I get to grieve them. I think I just have to do it now and hope for the best. And they bring back... Alright, I think I should just... I don't know. I guess I'll just take the... So... Just tag with my flyers and hardcast the Archfiend. So I have an extra blocker. Or I could cast Shardless Agent, not reveal Living End, and just cycle an Architect, so I have a slightly bigger graveyard. Yeah, I think Architect's probably decent. Alright, Sunken Rune's kind of doing a little something here. What's in their hand already? Oh, I guess, yes, take a look at their deck too. Playing Valak Awakening, Fulminator Mage. Ceradon is 6 mana, so they have Ceradon Living End. Sunken Runes being better than Urborg, yeah. Bit. So this one has to attack? So they're just dead. Yeah, because this one has to attack, so they only have 2 blockers. So if I attack with everything, they're dead. They try to attack with everything, and then I just chum block one, and then, yeah, okay. Alright, Fulminator Mage. Let's see. They're probably going to have Leyline. They're probably going to have 4 Leylines. So I don't think Force of Negation really does anything. I think it's... I want all my break... I think I want all my Leyline answers and all my fairies. And Grief is probably... And then just the worst cycler, so Architect. Oh, Subtlety. Subtlety is okay. It's a flash threat, and the way the game plays out, people just start casting their threats. It's close though. Subtlety or Architect. Oh, did I have Outburst in hand? Did I have lethal anyways? Yeah, I wasn't even paying attention, maybe. What's better, Subtlety or Architect? More cycling cards or all interact? I'll keep it Subtleties. Also, Subtletying a Fulminator Mage might be a thing in this matchup. All right, good hand. Well, the problem with Leyline is they can actually cast it super easily. A lot of decks who play Leyline, they can't really play it again that easily, but... don't want to start cycling just to hit my land drops. I could cycle Architect. That card's just super medium anyways. Yeah, I think I like that. It cost me a card in my graveyard, and it cost me 2 life. So I think it's a... Also gives me an extra look at the Evoke creature. So that part's pretty nice. Also helps me hit land drops against turn 3 Fulminator Mage. I think maybe I should just bounce it now. Because if I bounce it enough turn in the outburst and response, I'm just kind of screwed. I'll bounce it now. Why Reed wasn't playing any Griefs of Subtlety on his stream? I think it's because he just didn't have the cards. And I think he was just writing an article for CFB Pro about it. Kind of, you know, not like in-depth one, but you just want to play a league to get a feel for the deck before writing about it. I'll need to cycle at Valakut's Awakening in my upkeep. I got excited for a second. I thought they were going for Outburst and I was just going to blow them out. I don't think I can do anything about it. Any reason to fetch right away? So hopefully they tap out for a Leyline here, and then I... Fulminator Mage is... Alright, I should cycle in response, because if I draw Subtlety, I just win. Or I'm at least in a very... But I'm dumb. It's not even that good to living in. They're just living in right back. Well, I gotta start somewhere, I guess. I don't know why I kept saying I win. I was just totally oblivious. Forgot they just had, you know. It's still probably decent. Any reasons to do it now? To do it main phase? Yeah, to get to side. I like lethal, yeah, but I mean, they're not gonna just tap out and let themselves die to an outburst. I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna do it now. Yeah, the mirrored is weird. I agree. I mean, I guess I could have gotten greedy, right? And hope they play... I mean... I don't mind it, because now they have 2 living end. And we both have nothing, and then I get 2 living end again. And they have 2 living end again, and then I get 2 living end again. So they need to keep casting living ends. Just to not die. Or maybe they... Yeah, maybe that's even better for them. Alright, I need to draw a land, chat. Red source. That's good. I'm gonna attack first.
48 months. That's the entire length of Trump's presidency. Wow. Can't tell which was worse. Love ya, Gab.
Raph. Thanks for the 4 years. 4 years anniversary. The elite, the rare 4-year club. Are they dead by any chance? 6, 8, 11? No, not close. Alright, so that's why I didn't play the land first. Because now my land comes into play untapped. Now they have 2 living end, and I get 2 living end back, and I think I win. Unless they have outburst. Then they get... I like them tapping out. I like what I see. How important is Subtlety into this list? Could it be replaced? I've liked it. I've liked it in small numbers a lot. I feel like that card's been good for me, and it's pretty important against in the Titan matchup. Alright, is that lethal? Alright, GG's. I'm not sure I have the edge in this matchup, but worked out. Old trophy. Sunken Runes was...